everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lady Candic, and today we're doing a Where Are They Now video for Holly Jervis, who was rudely labeled cave mouth after being publicly humiliated by Simon Cowell. Holly auditioned for the X Factor UK in 2008 at the age of 23. In her audition, she says she's from the sunny Isle of Wight, but in her wiki fandom page, it says Holly described her hometown as sunny, but it has rained there before. Thanks for clearing that up. Since her audition, she has been nowhere and everywhere. In her appearance, she implied that she was a performer, and Holly continued performing even to this day. Holly has performed in many countries, including this one, because I found a clip of her singing in Hershey, PA, and I just wish I could have been there because that's so close to me. But I also say she's been nowhere because there's tons of clips of her singing, but she's managed to keep her private life private. And she doesn't address X Factor like ever, at least not that I could find. Every appearance clip that I found for her has people in the comments either quoting her audition or asking questions about it, and she just flat out ignores them all. She wants nothing to do with it, and that's her prerogative. She wants to exist as this performer without that being attached to everything with her name on it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that's what she wants. She's even tried changing the spelling of her name and going by different aliases. One article that I found said she had 29 different names between the different spellings and the aliases that she had. Holly seems like a professional because she takes her work very seriously, but she's also an opportunist because she has not just taken on singing gigs. She has hosted a behind the scenes episode for BBC One.
The glitz, the glamour, the costumes, the men. Come with me.
She's seen professionally promoting a service technology provider in multiple videos.
This is our great benefits package, one of which is getting great glasses like these on our UK healthcare plan every year.
And she's even in an Ellie Goulding music video. How many of you knew that? Because I didn't. It's just for a split second and you have to really watch it, but it's right there. Aside from that, you can find her singing in different venues, mostly as a tribute or cover artist and a touring cabaret singer. She practically did her own showcase at a holiday park in 2012, and there's a bunch of footage for that too. It seems like she took a bit of a hiatus, but has re-emerged singing some Tina Turner in what seems to be like a lounge in July, so just a couple of months ago. She's approaching 40 and she's still doing the damn thing, and she looks good doing it. I love that because I'm in my 30s and I'm doing YouTube, and a lot of people would be like, go over there, Granny. Holly is very passionate about music and performing, but that's not how it started. Her singing really began when her nan put her in the church choir at the age of 5. And then her friend at school took up piano lessons, and she got to miss math for those lessons, and Holly was jealous. She was like, I hate it here, I want to miss math too. So she took on piano lessons as well, and thus began her relationship with music. When she says she's trained for years, she's not kidding. She had a singing teacher on the aisle and went through real lessons and real exams. If you hear a chainsaw in the background, my father-in-law has decided to cut wood right now, and time doesn't stop for these videos. We have to keep the farm going, so sorry. She got really into it, not because she felt like she really had something there, but because she felt like she could understand and dissect the music. She got some major support from her family, driving her to those different lessons and auditions and providing financial support and emotional support and building her up with encouragement, and it allowed her to really follow her dreams. She had already done many gigs by the time she went to X Factor, and kind of helps us understand why she was so surprised by their feedback.
Why would I keep getting employed if I'm as bad as you're saying?
In a normal world, her audition would have went like this. She sends in a sample of herself singing. If they like it, they'll bring her in and have her sing for them for a couple of minutes and ask her a couple of questions to get a feel for her abilities and how she presents herself. and then sends her away with little to no feedback. We'll call you. Not traumatic, but also too boring for TV, right? In this case, she probably submitted to the X Factor with high hopes and high prospects because she was already an established singer. And like Debbie Stevens, she was probably told by all the people around her that you should go do this. You should try out for the X Factor. So she submits and gets a call to audition. The first audition that these contestants do are not aired. What we see is the second one. And by that time, they have already been prepped and manipulated by the show's producers, saying things like, "You're really good. Make sure you go in there with lots of confidence and personality. The judges like that. And don't take no for an answer." They build and hype them up so much, and that's why we see contestants go in there like this.
I go the X Factor.
Because I'm going to win.
I can win the X Factor and I will win it.
Do you think you can win the X Factor?
Of course I can. Better than Madonna.
And also why, when they're ultimately rejected and humiliated, we get reactions like this.
You need to get off your high horse and stop talking rubbish, Simon.
What kind of people are you?
They want it to look like these people just can't handle the heat, but the heat is like the surface of the sun. Okay, moving on. So she was knocked down a little bit by her experience, but she stood back up and continued on with her career. You get the gist of how her life turned out professionally, but let's go over the things that I can ethically share about her personally. It doesn't seem like she started a family, and being a touring artist probably has a lot to do with that. The only mention of her having any kind of partner was in May of 2020, just briefly. She just mentions having someone and then never speaks of it again. So I don't know if they're still together. I did find this cryptic post from last year that could imply that there's someone in her life not making her feel like a priority. Pure speculation. Usually when we share something like this on social media, it's not for nothing, even if it seems like it. Like, there's something in there that we're relating to when we post it. 2 arm surgeries and 5 knee surgeries that I know of. It's not clear why she's had so many. I could speculate that maybe she has a condition that affects her bones, or maybe she's the long-lost love child of Evel Knievel. Let's see, what else can I share? Oh, she's a huge fan of the Backstreet Boys. She's been photographed at meet and greets with them a couple of times. Like Debbie Stevens, she's also very charitable. Many of what I found on her personal Facebook was just donated to charity, donated to charity, donated to charity. So clearly she supports a lot of causes. And lastly, when you Google her name or one of the variations of her name, one of the first things that pop up is this gay Twitter war. And that's the phrasing that was used. That's why I'm saying it like that. But apparently, Holly's audition has been quoted and posted so many times on Twitter that it has divided the gay community. One of them is the group that's posting all the quotes and like continuously sharing Holly Jervis stuff. And the other side is like, stop it. We are so sick of seeing this. You're overdoing it. And I think the reaction from this side has this side doing it even more, and then it's pissing off this side, and it's just like now it's a Twitter war, and it's kind of crazy because she has done nothing to put herself into it. She just showed up at an audition, and now she's the center of this Twitter war. Perfectly describes the culture on Twitter, honestly. In summary, Holly Jervis seems to be doing just fine. In my opinion, of all the contestants I've researched so far, she's the one who pretty much stayed on the path that she was already on before the X Factor. Her life probably turned out the same way that it would have if she hadn't gone on to the X Factor. But I can acknowledge that she got entirely too much hate, and hate that she didn't deserve, and it probably affected her in ways that we just can't see, ways that she's not speaking about or sharing. But she pushed through it. She continued with her career, and she's still singing, and we're so proud of her for that. I did reach out to her for a video and instantly blocked. Like, I knew it was going to happen eventually, and I kind of felt like it would be Holly that did it because of how much she wants nothing to do with any of it. Like, I saw it coming. That's why I did all of my research before reaching out. I know better. Making these videos has me connecting with all of these contestants though. Me and Ashwin have adopted each other as siblings. Debbie Stevens and I have made plans to start a podcast together. And even though I don't see it happening in the near future because I can barely even get these videos out and she has lots of obligations of her own as well, it's still something that we would love to do someday. And her way of describing different perspectives is so perfect for podcasting. And then Abby from Ab Lisa recently got in contact with me too. And I'm like, how cool is this? We could just start like a little community of people that have been wronged by the world, or I don't know, whatever. Okay, I'll stop rambling. That's all I have for today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers so that I'll feel official. Until next time, goodbye.